Hello everyone, I'm Angelica, and this is my portfolio in staging text. I will present my portfolio on 3 plays that Night, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and Educating Rita. First, I would like to talk about analysis of the character of Anita from the perspective of Laban Matthews. Night is a realistic and absurd story which takes a very dramatic direction, but the various issues arising from the death of an elder are sometimes very real. Anita, the family's daughter, is one of the main characters in this story. In the workshop, we used the Laban method of acting, and I would like to analyze the playing of Anita with this method. Laban analyzes and interprets characters through body language using 4 components: space or focus, time, weight, and flow. When I played Anita, I wanted to capture her impulsive, impatient character. Therefore, I quickened the pace of my performing. I also used props to help me portray Anita better, such as a backpack and decorations. When Anita comes on stage, her movements is punch, which means direct, quick, heavy, and bound. Her appearance interruption the conversation between Robert and Lorraine, which seems unexpected for the audience. She is direct and quick, and her body language is urgent. When Robert said, "It's not the time to be cracking jokes," I added a pause, which I think is a dub, to give Anita a pause before turning her head. And I believe Anita must have reacted before retorting to Robert, and this pause is the character's thinking time. There was a progression of emotions in Anita when Robert was verbally stimulating her. It would have been possible to use the state of punch throughout. But I think an alternation of press and writing would have been better. It's more of a process that escalates to conflicts, a layering of quarrels between Anita and Robert that grows more and more intense, and Anita's inner self is stimulated to fight back. I prefer to attribute the body language in this section to punch, press, writing, and slash.
We need to talk about it.
Talk about what?
That's it, Emma. If I stay in that time a minute longer, it will be more than Grandma. That needs worrying.
So what? You're not going to say anything?
Say about what?
Now's not the time to be making jokes.
Who's joking? I'm going home to my baby before I commit murder.
Everything to you's a big joke, isn't it? You should have skipped university and gone straight to clown school.
Robert, don't write something.
No, I'm serious. Do you have any idea how much money they make in Covent Garden juggling balls on unicycles? You could have supported yourself instead of relying on your mother to bring you, your daughter, and your man out of penury.
Remember that time when I was 2
No, Anita.
and I pissed
No.
in your shoe? It wasn't because I didn't know any better. It was because of your shit in shoe.
You see? This is what happens when you bring them up without a father. They lack breeding. You shouldn't even be letting her loose in there. She doesn't know how to speak to big people.
Here we go some old lane. At least, Angelica, I'm 23.
I don't care if you're 305.
305?
Both of you, stop your mouth.
That doesn't even make any sense. What's my name? Methuselah, from the Bible.
Perhaps if you'd read the Bible a little more closely, you would have come home with a degree instead of a baby.
I came home
prancing around in a gown like a
You
freak.
really believe she's gone. That's why it's alright for you. Come in here, raise your voice, and soften your feet. But this is still her house, and she's still in it. So next time you come, leave your binaries by the door, and the water coming at home. And Alicia, this isn't a place place. Come tomorrow looking like Krusty the Clown, and you leave looking like Gandhi.
Okay, secondly, I compared the difference between 1958 and 1976 performance of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Here is a section from the 1956 version where Brick hides in the bathroom after Margaret's failed courtship. There is brief depiction of this section in the original script, but in the 1956 production, the director extended the performance of this section to incorporate a violent query. This is the original script. The 1956 version reflects Brick's love for Margaret more strongly than the 1976 version. Brick considered hungering Margaret back, but decides against it. He turns and hides in the bathroom, unable to resist sniffing Margaret's clothes again, realizing his action and then threw them away in disgust. This segment exemplifies Brick's desire for Margaret and is a very sexually charged sequence. In the 1976 version, the focus is more on Margaret's initiative. This section shows Brick's disgust and rejection more visually, but it also watered down the character slightly. Instead, the use of the character elements would have fleshed out the character and better elicited sympathy in the audience. It also gives more substance to their love. In the end, Brick reconciles with his ego, making Margaret's life come true. It's also possible that the desire to cut down on the original homosexual topic increased Brick's feeling for Margaret. The 1956 production was a period in which Hollywood's strict restrictions on homosexuality led to the deletion of many homosexual elements from the production, leaving the final version with some difference from the original script. I think to a certain extent the 1976 version of the adaptation was in keeping with the context of the times. The 1970s was a time of social upheaval and changing attitudes towards traditional family structures and gender roles, and these themes would have resonated with many viewers. Additionally, the film's portrayal of a wealthy Southern family grappling with issues of morality and desire may have struck a chord with audience in the wake of the Watergate scandal and other instances of corruption and moral decay in American politics and society. Next, I examined the scenes when Margaret announced her pregnancy. The scenes did not have Big Daddy present in the original script. The original version was also interrupted in our performance, and there was no Big Daddy in it either. But in both the 1958 and the 1976 version, Big Daddy hears the news himself. On page 107 of the book, Tennis Williams states that the change was suggested by director Elia Kazan, who thought it would be more dramatically conflicting for Big Daddy to hear it in person. so it was adapted in the third act of the Broadway version. In the original script, Margaret was calm and forceful, like she had thought long and hard about finally deciding to tell the lie. In the 1976 version, however, Margaret looks at Big Daddy and announces the news with her head held high and proud. A demeanor that strikes me as a departure from the Margaret from the original script. I think Margaret at this time is nervous, using the body language of folded hand to calm himself down. Nor was it supposed to be so confident in the subsequent argument with Goobers. This is a slight departure from my understanding of Margaret. After checking various sources, I found that May is often represented by a Goobers. Like Murphy in his book, The Theatre of Tennis Williams said, Brick's brother Goober, his wife May, and Maggie closed in like vultures on Big Mama, hoping to get control on an estate once Big Daddy is dead. She fails to make her own name and always appears with her husband. Although she is calculating and always thinks that people can't see her little antics strats, I think she is essentially a sad woman like Margaret. There is a Big Daddy comment in the play that I think is a good assessment of Margaret and May's character. Brick said, nervous as a couple of cats on a hot tin roof, and Big Daddy said, that's right, boy. They look like a couple of cats on a hot tin roof. It's funny that you and Goober being so different would pick out the same type of woman. How's May not a cat on a hot tin roof? She and Margaret, although they have different personalities, are both struggling in this household. May's obsession with procession, I think, has something to do with Big Daddy and Big Mama's eccentricity. The inequality in this family can also give May a sense of injustice, with her parents clearly siding with Brick despite having 5 children of their own and no children in her brother's family. I think she desired the respect and understanding of this family. So I don't want to describe her as merely selfish, because she is also a miserable woman. At the beginning of the play is a side-by-side depiction of May's children. Margaret said, one of those no-neck monsters hit me with a hot buttery biscuit, so I haven't changed. In fact, this paragraph clearly showed that the family's relationship is not harmonious, and the child treats her aunt with disrespect, and the child's behavior would also indicate that May's attitude towards Margaret was also unfriendly. When I played May, I wrapped my clothes around my belly to show that May was pregnant and imitated a pregnant woman's walk. During the show, I found that May was not very noticed in the house and would go unnoticed after she finished speaking. She was also a pregnant person, but all anyone cared about was the news that Margaret pregnant, and as she struggled and angered, said that woman isn't pregnant, when trying to say more about the suspicions, but her husband said, shut up, she is isolated and that nobody stands with her. When May confronts Margaret, I think she is angered and feels that everyone knows the truth, but no one is on the side of the truth. When I play May, I add some gasps, but don't argue too loudly because an aggrieved person can't be particularly articulate.
Everybody listen.
Listen to what, Maggie?
I have an announcement today.
Sports announcement, Maggie?
Rick and I, we are going to have a child.
Maggie, Rick, this is too good to believe. That's right, too good to believe. Oh my, this is Big Daddy's dream. His dream come true. I'm going to tell him right now before he...
We'll tell him in the morning, Melissa. Now.
I want to tell him before he goes to sleep. I'm going to tell him his dreams come true this minute. And Rick, a child will make you pull yourself together and quit this drinking. The responsibility of a father will... I'm going to tell Big Daddy right this minute.
Why, thank you, Maggie. That is a nice big shot.
Rick, could you possibly spare me one small shot of that liquor?
Well, help yourself, Cooper boy.
I will.
Of course, we know that this is...
Be still, Maggie.
I won't be still. I know she's made this up.
God damn it, I said shut up.
Gracious, I didn't know my little announcement would cause such a storm.
That woman isn't pregnant.
Who said she was?
She did.
The doctor didn't.
I
Doc
haven't-
Ball didn't.
I haven't gone to Doc Ball.
And who'd you go to, Maggie?
One of the best gynecologists in the South.
I see. May we have his name, please?
No, you may not. Mr. Prosecuting Anthony.
He doesn't have any name. He doesn't exist.
Oh, he exists, all right. And so does my child, Rick's baby.
You can't conceive a child by a man that won't sleep with you unless you think you
Turn
are.
that off!
We know it's a liar because we hear you. He won't sleep with you. We hear you. So don't imagine you are going to put a check over on us to call a dying man with a... Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Sounds like the pain is struck.
Don't see, Goober.
Come now, and leave these lovebirds together in their nest.
Liar!
Fox, in his article EF's Visit to a Small Planet, Some Questions to Ask a Play said, mold the play into a medium-sized ball, set it before you in the middle distance, and squint your eyes. Make the ball small enough that you can see the entire planet, not so small that you lose detail, and not so large that detail overwhelms the whole. Before you is the world of the play. He makes us look at the play and ask questions from a critical point of view. When I watched Educating Rita, I felt that it was very much like My Fair Lady. But My Fair Lady was more of socially imposed discipline for women, whereas Educating Rita was more of a rise in self-awareness and the pursuit of knowledge. Although the play is also about education and the transformation for a sprawl into a phonics, it clearly goes beyond the level of My Fair Lady and begin to seriously explore the purpose and nature of education. Fox asked us look at theater productions in a questioning way, so I gave Educating Rita some of my questions as well. What kind of period is this setting? Is this a realistic examination or a virtual one? Where are the main things taking place? What is the overall tone? Is this upbeat? Is it sad? What is the characterization of the characters around you? By asking myself questions and answering them, I was able to gain new insight into the text. In the play Educating Rita, The accent of the female lead is also a feature that should be considered. They use a Southern American accent to highlight the character's working class background. This contrast not only highlights the difference between their social and educational backgrounds, but also reflects the play's exploration of class education and identify. Fox said that, assume that the dramatic world is entirely conscious, determinate, limited. I like the idea that when we approach a play, it's real and trust the word of the script. It's also seen from multiple perspectives, the viewpoint of the audience outside the play, the characters within the play, and the spectators in the play's environment, all of which can help us to analyze the text better. These are the contexts of my portfolio. Thank you for listening.